Welcome back to Wepner Farms Productions. Check this place out. Boy, is it coming along. A lot of trash involved in building, I guess. But doors are in, walls are up. Not much to finish up here, a little bit of trim. The room's gotta be finished up, but it's coming along pretty nice. A little bit of work to do yet, but we're getting there. Just figured I'd update you in the beginning of this video how she's coming. Excited to use it for sure. Anyways, let's jump into it. We're on the Q&A video. I'm gonna try to do it while I work on this planter, I think is my plan. Except I got a little further than I thought I did. But right now we're just digging out these grease zerks. When you plant in the mud, you get mud on your grease zerks and you gotta dig them out apparently. So I just figured I'd make my life easier and clean them up now. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing here. Alright, first question. Is Big Ricky older or younger than me? So Big Ricky is my younger brother. He is 3 years younger than me. Must be 3. I think he turns 21 this year. So, you see him at the bar after November 9th, something like that. Wish him a happy birthday and buy him a beer. Have you seen any bats rolling around? Honestly, haven't seen any lately. Actually, Big Ricky, his house, he had issues with bats, or I don't know if it's really an issue. We would call it an issue because we don't want bats in the house. Maybe people want bats in the house, then it wouldn't be an issue. But he's had some bats in his house, so there's bats around, but you don't see too many of them. Every once in a while you do. How many pounds of milk per day do your cows average, and what's your rolling herd average? Always wondered if it's less or more with robots. So that's a good question. So robot parlor comparison. I will say that since we switched to milking the robots, we've gained probably about 5 pounds per cow per day. Right now we're hitting around 90 pounds, a 4.2 butter fat, and 3.2 protein, if I remember right, something like that. It's close to those numbers. Don't quote me on that, but those are pretty close numbers. And we're giving about 90 pounds of milk. That's kind of what our goal is 90 pounds. I don't know if we could get them to crank more out. If we got more visits, we probably could. We're at about 2.7 visits per day per cow. So that's kind of where we're at with that. I mean, I'd sure love to see cows cranking out 100 pounds of milk every day, but it all comes down to practicalities and if you're gonna be buying milk. We get paid more for premiums if we got a higher butter fat or protein, so if you can keep your milk production a little bit lower in a sense, sometimes it's easier to keep that a little bit higher protein and butter fat. So that's kind of where we're at on that. How long has the farm been around? How many generations? So I'm 4th generation. Big Ricky and I are, I should say. Uh-oh, you're getting the close shot now. So we actually had a farm before this farm. That would be our homestead. That's over towards Marion area, which is, I don't know, probably about 30 minutes away from the farm we're on now. That would have been my great-grandpa and his brother separated there, essentially. So it would have been his grandpa's, so it would have been my great-great-grandpa's farm, I believe. So I'm technically 5th generation in the dairy industry, but 4th generation on this farm. So how long our farm has been around, I want to say that we bought this farm in probably the 50s. I don't have a number. Grandpa doesn't have a number. There's maybe a deed somewhere to the land from way back when we started farming here, or to the farm, but as far as that goes, I don't think anybody really knows around here. Do you and your family hunt the land that you farm? Yes, we do. At least Dad and I, we are avid bow hunters and gun hunters, and then we got some family friends that also hunt with us. We got a little hunting cabin down like a couple 40s away, and we do hunt. I probably do the most hunting on our land out of anybody, but my dad really enjoys it. My grandpa's gone out a few times. Big Ricky has shot a couple does from the hip. But yeah, as far as hunting goes, not too many people hunt with us. We got maybe a group of 10 people in total that hunt everything. What do we got here now? Biggest question. What do you see as the biggest challenge you will have to overcome? Oh, I wish I went to more English classes. What do you see as the biggest challenge you will have to overcome to succeed as a farmer and pass the farm on to the next generation? So, I think the hardest thing to do to keep rolling is to just keep rolling. You gotta, at least this day and age, at least this is my beliefs, people can believe different things or do what they want, but I think diversity is key when you're farming and being able to do everything yourself if you can. I think there's a lot of farms out there that hire out a lot of stuff, and I think that is not the best financial thing to do. And I understand that people don't maybe have the time or the resources, or maybe they're directed more towards just taking care of the cattle, and that is perfectly fine. I just think that there's a gator coming. Alright, where were we? That whole recording thing didn't work out very good last night. So we're actually planting now, recording another video, but what are you going to do? I need to find out where these questions are. It was in the one where we were hauling manure. Okay. So the biggest challenge you have to overcome to succeed as a farmer and pass the farm on to the next generation. So I'm not 100% sure where I left off. I could probably read it back, but I'm pretty sure I was talking about how we need to, oh yes, we might overlap a little bit, but I was talking about how there's a lot of farms out there that are hiring work done, and no bashing on them, but I think that's one of the biggest places where some farms get ahead, is being able to manage all their own crops on their own. It's very expensive to custom farm, so that meaning that it's very expensive to hire people to do your farming for you. So I think that's one place where, and I'm just going to use us for a reference. We do everything ourselves. There's very few things we hire done, and being able to do that, it pays for the equipment very quickly. So like chopping, for example, if we hired all of our chopping done, we would probably be looking at, this is just a ballpark number, but I'm sure we'd be over $150,000 to get all of our forages in. So I mean, the chopper itself, we paid over $200,000 for a chopper, but just in, let's just call it 3 years, have that chopper for 3 years, it's already paid for itself in just the harvesting aspect. And you don't have to go crazy overboard with equipment like our forage trucks. We've been running those for probably over 15 years. So I think that's one thing that really is going to help us. The fact that we're all driven to work really hard. We put in long days here in the busy time of the year. It's not untypical for us to be working 13, 14, 16, 18-hour days. We at least work a 12-hour day every day, no matter what's going on. So, I mean, farming, yes, it can be getting difficult for a lot of people, but I think a lot of it comes down to dedication, just hard work, sustainability, everything we can possibly do to be able to raise more crops on less is benefiting a huge number. We've been doing a lot of cover crops. I know I'm in literally a tilled field right now, but doing minimal tillage, we've seen actually a lot of crop yields increase. Doing cover crops to do that tillage for us, build organic matter, those are a lot of great things you can do to make your farm more sustainable. I've heard a lot of people say, well, no-till cover crops, they don't work for us on different soils, and that might be true, but I haven't seen any ground that it doesn't work on personally. We got some pretty wet ground that we run, and we'll no-till and do it every spring. So we do very seldom tillage in the spring. So that's saving on labor costs, equipment wear and tear, and just gets the crops in faster because we don't have a bunch of tillage to do. So, I mean, typically everything gets ran across the accelerator, maybe not to this extent, but we're planting cover crops with that. So in a sense, I like to count it as planting because that's the only tool that's going across. We go and air seed the seed, and then we hit it with that accelerator, and that incorporates the soil or the seed into the soil. So those are kind of some of my takes on how we're going to be able to pass the farm on to the next generation, is just essentially increase margins by lowering your cost of production and being able to produce more off of less is kind of my opinion. Okay, where is the farm located? We're in east central Wisconsin, so if you're looking at the thumb, it's probably backwards to you guys. This would maybe be the right way, but we're kind of right in there, right in that area in Wisconsin. So, if you ever heard of like the sand plains, or like all that flat ground over there where there's a bunch of sand, there is a lot of potatoes and stuff. We're about 40 minutes east of there. You should make a black and white hot dog shirt. So I call our calves hot dogs. I don't know why, just because they're slimy and brown when they come out of the cow. So I just think it's funny to call them hot dogs. So I think that'd be funny if I made a shirt like that too. What advice do you give a new dairy farmer? So I can see how it would be very difficult to start as a dairy farmer. And I think that kind of goes back to what I said before on being able to do everything yourself. You know, kind of learn what you need to know. I mean, even as far as like veterinarian stuff, like when we have cows with DAs, we roll them ourselves. That saves on vet bills, and we've had good success with it. You may need to maybe find people. That'd be another good point. Find a place to meet farmers. That might be hard because there's a lot of farmers that don't get out a lot, but there is a lot of, if you get talking to any type of agriculture agent, department of resources, stuff like that, people that work with the land a lot, you could probably talk to them to find other farmers if you're in a position where you don't know a lot of people that farm. And then being able to get together in a group, or even if you can go out on other people's farms and work part-time on a farm and learn things there, that could very much benefit you. And even if you could work with another dairy farm or another farmer in general to be able to almost help you in a way, I could see how that'd be beneficial to you starting out. And this is just my opinions. I am fortunate enough, did not have to start from the beginning, and got a great family, and we've been running a successful dairy for a long time. So I mean that helps me. But starting from square one, it'd be a lot to take in. I would not doubt that one bit. Our calves use just as herd replacement on the farm. We raise all of our steers, so we got about 300 steers that would be across the road, around the south side of the road of the farm. So we've been breeding the top 30% to sex semen, and that allows us to breed more to Angus. So we got Angus crosses, and they're a lot more feed efficient, a lot easier to raise as far as beef goes. So being able to cut down on the amount of Holstein steers we have, we're able to be able to raise steers for a lot cheaper, and I think that has benefited us a lot on the beef end of the operation. And then we raise all our heifers up too, so we're raising everything at all times. Right now we got about 130 calves on milk right now, give or take a few, so there's a lot of calves. How many acres do you run? I'd love to put that number out there. I don't know. It's just something that everyone keeps kind of secretive. So I don't know. We run enough acres that we can do a fair rotation of cash crops and be able to raise crops for our animals. I will say that we do not have much more than probably 400 acres that we have extra to be able to sell crops. So we're not huge into the cash crop. We just have some to be able to rotate beans and put wheat in. But one of the bigger reasons we put wheat in is for straw. But we do also are able to sell some of that wheat, and then we grow oats and stuff too for straw. But we feed our oats to our calves for grain. So that's kind of a ballpark number. We got about 900 head of cattle here. So if you want to kind of do the math on that, you kind of figure out a rough estimate how many acres we have. But as far as total acres, we'll keep that a secret. What is your favorite cow breed, and what is the least favorite thing to do on the farm? Favorite cow breed, I'd probably go with Angus. I do really like the look of them. I think beef animals are super cool in general. So I'd go with a nice heavy Angus. They're just nice to look at. And then as far as least favorite job, that's hard. I truly do enjoy like everything that has to do with farming, so I'd probably say least favorite is probably like I like that job too. I was gonna say climbing silos, but really enjoy the view that's on the top of the silos, so that really makes that a good job. Maybe just plain cleaning stalls out. You know, when you got, yeah, that'd probably be what it is. You're getting the cows up and you're scraping their stalls out, getting the manure out of the beds, and then you get this one cow up and she's just got a tail that's been hanging in the litter alley, and then she goes up and slaps you in the face with that. That really get a guy going in the morning. Probably my least favorite. How many calves do you have each year, and how many you sell? So we don't sell any calves, like I kind of said before. Probably say we calve in around 450 is probably a little bit on the high end. Our cull rate is around 15%, so you got to figure that we're bringing 15% heifers in roughly. I think we're a little strong on the heifers, so I'd say right around that 450 range. We got 360 milking cows, so if that kind of puts that into perspective. A lot of great comments on here saying how they really enjoy my channel. I really enjoy making it, so I'm glad I can provide a good video for everyone, that people are actually enjoying it. I don't really know why I started it. I kind of always been in like social media on and off. I did TikTok in high school, and then I was just like, well, I think it'd be fun to make videos. So I started making them, and then I was like, well, if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it right. So we really started cranking them out. Went to 2 times a week, and they're just kind of where we're at now. We've been growing steady, and it's been awesome. I'm glad that I can be a voice that is reaching out to people. I know that a lot of people that view this are old farmers, a lot of them are new farmers, and a lot of them don't know anything about farms at all. So I think that that's really cool that I get to, one, show the people that used to farm, maybe old retired farmers, show them what's going on in the farming world now, be able to show the new farmers what we're doing. You know, that's one of my biggest things too, is if you can see somebody doing something and it's working for them and it's improving their operation in a good way, how can we maybe take that and utilize it on our operation and make our operation better? Because you can't keep doing the same thing every year. It's always good to change, good or bad. Sometimes a change might be bad, maybe it's worth throwing in the garbage, but everything is worth a try, in my opinion. How big is that liquid manure tank? I think it's 3.6 million, 4 million. There's 120,000 a foot. I think it's 20 feet times 20, 2.4, 2.5, 3 million. Something like that. It's enough to store manure for about 6 months for us. How many generations? I think we might have got all the questions on here. I think I might swing through and just see if I can find some more. And then, I don't know where we're going to go with this from here. How many people work for the farm? So we got we'll just start with me as number 1. So we got Big Ricky, we got my father, my grandpa's here. I consider him full-time, he's always around. Then we got Jared, he's a half-hand probably. You guys have seen him in the videos. He's a little bit special, but he is a huge help around here, helping mix feed for the steers, or getting ready for heifers in the morning. He loads mixers at night, he cleans the steer barn and stuff like that. A lot of simpler tasks, but he's definitely a huge help around here. Without him, there may be less broken stuff, but there's a lot of times when we do count on him when we're busy to make sure that the little stuff is getting done. So then on top of that, we have a calf feeder, and we have a guy that helps us with chores in the morning. So that's up to 7 people. Then there's little Ricky and our new hired man, Devin. So I don't know if this is the best time to say this, but I wanted to have little Ricky kind of do something, but he's moving on here. He's almost done with school, and he's actually got a plan to be a crane operator when he gets to be a big boy Ricky. But right now he's finishing up school, and his school schedule unfortunately hasn't really worked out that great for really doing anything on the farm, because by the time he gets out of school and gets here, it's getting fairly late in the evening. So we're kind of in a transition. Little Ricky has still been around a little bit helping out, but he's kind of slowly fluttering out here, and our new hired man Devin, he's taking over what little Ricky would have done. So you guys will probably meet him pretty soon. He was actually the one that tended that hay way back when, like middle of summer. So he's been around here a little bit, but now he's working full time. So you guys will probably get to know him pretty soon. And he'll be not replacement for little Ricky, but he'll be little Ricky's replacement when it's all said and done. So no hard feelings between anybody with little Ricky. He's just moving on to the rest of his life. We still chit chat. He's been deer hunting, been talking about deer hunting. I've been deer hunting, he's been deer hunting. I got a new bow. He hasn't shot it yet, but we're gonna meet up, shoot bows and stuff. We're still friends and all that. Good jazz. It's just kind of moving on to his next stage in life as he grows up here. So I think that's pretty much all of our questions here. I think we did pretty good. If you got any more questions, drop them in the comments, and I'll just respond to them back with actual messages back, or comments back, however you say that. But yeah. Oh, how old are you, and are you dating anyone? I don't know how I missed that one. So I'm 23. I turned 24 this year. Getting to be an old geezer. I'm halfway to 50, nearly. But yeah, I am engaged. I'm getting married next summer, so that's actually one of the reasons I'm planting wheat in one of these fields here. We're gonna get married in a wheat field, which I thought was gonna be pretty cool, and she did too. So that's our plan there. I've been together with her for kind of like 5 years together, so it was about time to settle down, I guess, and probably start producing the next generation sometime here, I guess. So yeah, that's where we're at on that. I guess we're gonna end the video here so I can keep working on the other video. So this one will be out after this one, so next Thursday you'll get to see me planting this field, so that'll be cool. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.